Hello, comrades. It's Premier Rever, and I am back, looking down at the city of Revergrad, and quite literally nothing has changed since the last episode because time has been frozen. Quite permanently, it seems, but with our town getting bigger and many things going on, not that this town is getting bigger, but with our country getting bigger, I really have just left time frozen, so you guys haven't missed a thing outside of the work that I've done. So I came up here, and just because leveling is a bit tedious in this game, I went and leveled, as you guys might be able to tell. Quite a bit of work. Fortunately, I have another computer. I was able to watch some videos and some TV and sit here with my finger on the button and just level out. Some of these fields didn't need much work at all, but obviously getting some of them in did. So if you're wondering about the extent to which you can build from a construction thing, which I'm sure you're probably not that concerned about, but my construction house is, right over there in this area by Prishik North. And I probably said that wrong again. I'm sorry. But I couldn't level out. I wanted to put a few more fields in, like 1, 2, and then I have 3 and 4. But I don't have a construction thing that's close enough. You can kind of see, and if you were wondering if it's a circular kind of thing, yes, like you can kind of see more or less where I couldn't, do it anymore. So same thing over here. I started to run into that a little bit, and then this I denuded it because I was going to it was hard to see. They had a ton of trees on it, and whenever you see these stone things, you can't put a field. So it's not that it would have been worth leveling this probably anyway, but I couldn't really tell how big it was with the trees. So I might put some trees back in there. We'll see what happens. And where I found that out was like right here. You can see there's like a level spot. I was going to put like 2 fields like here and here, sort of with the pattern with the rest of them. Same thing, I was going to probably put one here, maybe, I don't know. But I just couldn't place a field on this. So I ended up turning this one field this way, which is probably just as well because it gave me a little more room to get a road out of the highlands there. So, but that's kind of crazy. What I recommend is if you're going to do this, try to find, like, we'll turn on the thing. I found that, you could use whatever you want, but I did building leveling. If you guys don't know what that means, it's just to take the building. And what I would say is do your best to try to find the median place, like raise up some. Like, in other words, this looks like a ton, but as long as it's really not as bad as you might think because you're kind of taking down one and raising the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and this is the, what is it? The technical college, I think. Yeah, I can't really see because it says only hill. Get rid of that message. There you go. Technical university is nice. But then so is the medical university for getting started. Like, because it's not so big, like, the bigger issue is you need to get it to where it'll turn yellow in a place that you're at about the right height. So try to do your best. Like here, I would probably try to get it started in this area, which is not too bad because if you look, we can zoom in, just make sure you guys can see. If I wanted to go up a little bit more, I'd only have to level out that top right of this building. Where if you try to start with the medical, well, that might even be better. See, so and then a lot of times I would sit there and just spin it around, and then I'd have a nice big area to start from, and then you want to use the flat edge. I've learned, So now this wouldn't be a good spot necessarily because we got these stones here. So when I point in that area, I'm actually probably pointing up here. So I would go and get the field and just sort of lay it over there and see, because that almost gives you a better idea of what would need to be leveled. So you start looking over here and say, wait a minute, there's some stone in there. Can I even get a field in this area, So I think I can actually if I look close enough. And then another thing to do is to, like, when you're doing that, look down on it. So You know, we don't need a road here necessarily, so we could jam this field all the way over. So if I put it, and then you can do your spin trick so that you get it in line with all the rest of them. Go all the way around. There you go. So see how it's nice and nice. So I could probably get over to here, and if you look, now that we're looking down over here, I'm really not on those rocks. Well, let me stay back off of these rocks and see if that's still true. You know, I mean, I'd probably get it in like right there. It's a little hard to move the worst part about these big fields is being able to see. But see that? I think I can get that in without hitting any of those rocks. And if I keep it down this way as far as I can, you know, I won't be, that'll be good because it'll be whatever. So I hope that makes sense. So this one definitely can do, but if I do all of these fields, if you look right over, let's count like just, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this is another 5 fields, so that's 9, and then I've got 6 right here, so that's 15, 7, 8, or 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So if I can get 4 more fields in, that's going to be pretty good. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the other thing is I could always potentially put a field over here, which might even be better in some ways. But I didn't want to get into this area until I figured out where the train tracks would go. So it might even be better just instead of trying to jam one up here, do we just put another one over in this area, staying away from this hill. But if you look, these are kind of, you know, you're still into a pretty hilly area here. This won't be too bad to level out, you know. It's all a little bit crazy and insane, but I don't know. I guess I find it therapeutic, might be the word. I don't know. But anyway, you can also, what I promised, or I didn't promise, but I said I wasn't going to build much, but then I found, well, I sort of needed to lay out an area for the farm and before I decided where else I was going to level. So what I have here is a farm and a silo for each farm. And then another, there's 2 farms right there, kind of a mirrored, well, not mirrored image, but mirrored purpose. And I made sure I had roads going around it. So each of these farms can have a road. Now, one thing I didn't put in here yet, which we'll do together. Let's go over to roads, because I don't want to forget to do this. Not that I would, but eventually I'd remember, or life would remind me. Can I get this in? It doesn't really matter as long as I can get it in here. So I want a gas station right smack dab in the middle of the whole thing. Now, you know what? I think I'm not going to do that until I build the roads. Yeah, never mind. Because they're already kind of chopped up enough. That's why I left them white. So in other words, I want to come in here and let's get rid of this connection and this connection and this connection. And then what I'll do is, let's gravel road for now. I'll just reconnect this so that, see, this becomes one job. I've said that 100 times, so I'm sorry. And that one's not going to be one job unless I do that. Oops, why can't I do that? You don't like that? Okay, let's try going back a little bit. Yeah, sometimes, you know, people say that, oh, the road thing is the worst thing about the game. It's like, well, no, it's really not that bad. It's just you just can't fight it. You know, it's a little bit finicky at times. If you go left, it doesn't always work, even though you think it should. So go right, and all of a sudden it works. But there you go. So for anybody who says you can't level in the game, I mean, good Lord, like what more can you level in other than 24 big fields into a area like this, right? Just do the building leveling, you'll be wonderful. And if you're not, you know, the type person that wants to get into all the leveling, then just make 2 separate areas. Like, you know, we could probably come back over here with another farm. I don't want to do it, you know, but there's other areas that you could level. Now, one thing I'll also say is the map's not totally accurate because this is like a big bowl. Like this field, there'd be a lake here. In other words, like there's hills surrounding it. Where would the water go? You know, so the terrain like this was anyway up a lot higher. Like there was a ridge here, so there was like a bowl right there, which in real life that really would have sloped down to here more. It's my opinion. Or else you would have had a lake, because where would the water go? But anyway, I don't know if you can see that from, maybe you can. See what I mean? Like this is up higher, maybe with the wireframe. I know it's a little hard to tell now that I've modified things, but this is definitely lower than right here, and this was all up higher. So why isn't there a lake here? Right? Is there a big drain pipe that... Anyway, you get the idea. Mountain lake. All right, well, there we go. So that was enough talking about that. And what I want to do now is probably place down some roads and get a town going. I want to get workers over to here, so I kind of, part of me wants to stay close to this, but these guys wouldn't be hard to bus in. That's our cement plant and our asphalt plant. They're the only workers that I should need over here besides construction workers, which I'm just not going to worry too much about where they get their workers from, because in the long run, it's not, you know, they're temporary-ish. Now the farms say they need workers, but they work fine with just the implements. So I'm not going to worry about getting farm workers out to the farms. But what I'm thinking of is, you know, this would be a nice railroad station for, what do you call it, for picking up corn. But it could also be a good railroad station for a food factory or even a distillery. I wonder, would it make sense? Now, I don't know. See, I think when you start jamming too many of these into each other, you know, that wouldn't work because of the road. Can I get that? Like, would it flow through that well enough? It's kind of a pretty big risk, isn't it, to build that thing? And I'm not so worried about the distillery, because we'll just take corn down to the distillery. Or do we end up doing like a whole nother thing like over here where we just drive a certain amount of the corn over to this guy and then have like a separate railroad station? Now, I don't think I want a separate railroad station. I think I would want... I mean, we've got room to sit two trains there. One could be a food train and the other could be a corn train. All right, so I mean, if we put this guy right here, again, so let's come here and just, these are, placing these things is far worse than placing any roads, but man, I knew that one would work. Then the problem is we're gonna have to get the car over here. So I'm curious to see if we'll get corn into this guy automatically through this convoluted setup. Does this guy, I mean, there's arrows both ways, right? There shouldn't be any reason we wouldn't get corn automatically into here, and then we could set a corn train and another train. Now, well, we'll just have to see. Does that stop the corn train from filling up? Would this take priority? I don't know. So one of the things, let's go ahead and put some railroad tracks, which now I did make a path of sort out of town, but this will help. Oops, actually, yeah, I think we're going to try to do all electric tracks everywhere. So I don't mind the idea of leveling that a bit. Is that kind of straight out of there? And then let's take this guy. There we go. So nice set of electric railroad tracks. We'll worry about connecting that up later. Can I now get... I think we're going to want an asphalt road in and out of here, even though I'm the gravel road guy. Plus, we're also going to need a road just to go in and out of town anyway, right? So let's go ahead and, you know what, let's do something else too. Let me delete this, because we know that'll attach. Yeah. So we're going to do asphalt road to here, and that'll be, you know, the start of like, quote, one project. Yeah, I think well, Can we come right across the railroad tracks? Yes, we can. Okay, so let's do that. Let's just bring this guy this way. I'm not going to attach that up right now, again, for the one road project idea. And then let's come into here and well, here's another question. Do we want to bring... Yeah, we certainly probably want to bring... Oh, but that wasn't very straight, was it? That's all right. We'll go with it, and we'll do something like this. How's that? And then we'll come up over the hill, leveling as we go. Yeah, if nothing else, that'll give us a potential clean construction route, if that makes sense. Now, we probably want to even think about... Yeah, that's probably good enough. Let's see, can we just get the railroad tracks? Because this will help set up how far... Oh, you're not selected in the railroad track. So let's... Too much descent or climb. Well, that's kind of another issue than I was... you don't like the fact that there's a road next door to you, so you don't want to... Yeah, see, that kind of messed up our... Let's just see, can we do this? No. Let's see if the road will be a little friendlier to this endeavor. No, you don't want to... You got to go yellow at some point. No, just all red or nothing. Come on. No, it doesn't like what I did there, does it? All right, let's try this. Sometimes you can kind of smooth things out a little bit and then get it to do what you want. No, it's not wanting to... you know what it's... what it's really not liking is the fact that this road's already there. So let's go even back to the railroad tracks, and I bet you this will... Let's even start with this one. Yeah, see, it wasn't liking leveling for some reason near that other road. All right, now I bet you... Let's make it like kind of straight, even though I can't really see. That's not too bad. There we go. Now we should be able to put our road back. Oop. You really don't want to click to the end of that guy, or what? Oh, because I didn't select an actual road, did I? There we go. So now the question is, with this mess, I don't necessarily want to delete our road. And we have plenty of time to work this out, but let's just see what... this isn't going to work very well. It's going to... Well, yeah, it will. Oh, don't attach to it. Don't attach it yet. Yeah, that was painless. Yeah, I mean, that's not too bad, is it? All right, well, let's commit to all of that, or semi-commit. And then we'll come back to roads and semi-commit to all of those. And then we'll come over to these connections and semi-commit to those. So there we go. So we got a big long road project in here to get asphalt. We got some nice long railroad projects. You know, we're going to probably start our railroad down there by where the steel is, but at least we'll have that kind of worked out. Now, we have food. We're going to want to get food into town here. So let's go and say, you know, we'll probably need a bus stop, huh? Because now we have a food factory. Do we probably put our town right in the middle of the two? How's that sound? So I would need a bus stop over here and a road that gets over to there. So I think we'll work that out later after I say, okay, this is going to just be a small town, but we still need the normal stuff. Let's start with a little road. And this time we're going to just try to go right with the semi-permanent road. So this, if I said, well, I don't want to get into that hill anymore, and we put a few residences down. So let's start with residences. And I have to get citizens off just in case I end up leaving this here. So I'm going to put one house there, and then I'm going to leave here. I like my wire frame for this because I like to leave a full empty row between these so there's plenty of room to put a path, and then so there we go. So that just gives us a good gauge as to where to put this road. So if we have a road coming down this way, let's go to the edge of the flat, right? And we could come further this way, but let's not for now. So we'll assume kind of the same thing, where we could have a central area of sorts. It's not like we have to put houses here in the long run. Would we do this? Well, I think I would do this. Yeah, we'll be able to get a road through there. Why is that red? Look at that little red pole down there. Can you guys see that? Just because this is interfering, I see. All right, well, let's move that over to there. And then again, put something in between, enough that we can definitely get a path. That means we could have another row of houses or whatever else we needed. And so we'll bounce back to roads. It should be able to attach, I think. Good. All right, now, the things people need. Do we just go with a big shopping center, which is a lot more expensive than the little ones? I mean, this is a little town. Now, is there going to be a road in and out? Yeah, this will be the road in and out of town. So if anything, I want to try to avoid connections to that. And we want to put this a little further just so we can get people. In other words, the main road that you want trucks to use, try not to attach too many people. So it would even be worth it to talk about flipping this around or doing something different, maybe not even putting houses on there. All right, so then we need a small store. We'll put that here. Doesn't mean you can't have any connections, just you don't want it, if this road has like one connection or none like it does now, if you want somebody to go from here to here, they're going to go all the way up and around that way. So you kind of want a clean-ish road through town. All right, so that was that and that. And they're going to want a cinema because they like cinemas. And I think I'm going to try to do it this way. Since this wants to put... I'm going to do that, and then would this be good, or I might demolish that in 2 seconds. I don't want to leave too much room just because, yeah, I think it's too far. Yeah, so we want a road kind of where like this is. Just go long, can always cut it back some. Thank you, save. There we go. Well, that was about perfect. It's like I measured it or something before I put it in there. So good. So now that's good. And then, well, they're going to want a pub. So do we put the pub? I think we could tuck the pub in a little bit better this way, can't we? And then maybe right behind it, which doesn't need an actual road connection. And we'll keep those a little bit further apart so that they... And then, as suggested in some of the comments, you know, a tennis court, is it actually... Well, let's take a look. Is it actually smaller? I believe it is. I mean, at least, but that's only because I think I've jammed it in. Let's look straight down on it. Yeah, it's like, what would you call that? Like 2x3 or even less. And then what's the soccer field? Yeah, it's just a little bit fatter. You know, does it matter? No, see, I think we can put that guy like right in. Right in there and still actually have like a footpath. Yeah, I don't like that you can't see it at all, but that's right. That would be pretty much everything they need, but they're going to want a school, and then they're going to want a kindergarten for people, right? So why don't we plan on putting those, let's see. Yeah, let's put those like right here. We'll just demolish this guy. And then... oh, we gotta do play pauses. Yeah, when it comes to the kindergarten, I want to attach it to this street. And the school... I mean, if we ever made town bigger, which I don't really see us doing... Nah, right here is fine. The only thing... I don't particularly want it attached that way. Why is there... What is the... Oh. Oh, my kindergarten... Yeah, look how it's... I got you. Wonder why I couldn't place it. Yeah, I want to leave a little more room so we get a footpath there. Yeah. Well, I guess it really doesn't make a difference. Why don't we just sort of plop it right there? And say I don't like that. So what we're going to do is let's go back to our roads. Good roads. Bulldoze first. And bulldoze all that up. We'll leave that there for a second, and then I'll take a road. Now this doesn't, when it's white like this, it's not decided what to do, so it's fine. That's kind of crooked, isn't it? Let's do a nice straight road through town. There we go. Not that the rest of the town's straight, but now that is. Yeah, and see, like this would be two different things. So let's delete that back out because it's not the same construction. So now, oh, that's a road I had. Oh, that was a stupid road anyway. So yeah, so let's delete that and that and that. And then now that they're white, it's okay to do this because we'll come back and we'll delete that other one. And then we'll come back here and demolish that. Yeah, this would be pub, cinema. We'll have a path behind it. So we're going to want like a road over here eventually, which I'll just put as like a placeholder in a sense. So I can put this where I want it, hopefully. No. Yeah, see that's, so this will just sort of be a, I don't know that I'll ever build that one that way, but all right, so let's come down here and see. I think I just want to come straight out of town It's not too bad. Let's, oh, it doesn't want to, what can I do? No, you don't want to come off of there? Oh, because that other, oh, come on. Maybe a little bit of a, sometimes if you get them off, yeah, like see that, isn't that weird? Do we do like an official? Yeah, let's see if we can do an official. Well, no, let's see if we can do an official. Oh, I'm building all the wrong. I don't want that kind of road. Oh, wait, I think we can just go right over it. Once we get from like here, say. I don't think I like the way that. Yeah, we want asphalt roads for the most part from now on, but let's yeah, let's go to here. Let's go like this. Get it all started. You won't go. You won't. Okay, I'll just take a little. And then let's bulldoze this and see what that looks like. Yeah, that's pretty cool. No, it's not. Well, yeah. Sorry, I'm getting fiddly farty, aren't I? There you go. No. Well, you need some other infrastructure in the way. No, you don't like that. Okay. No, don't like that. Well, that just, well, I don't think it matters if it cut off that. I just have to remember to, maybe we will repave that right away. There we go. All right, that's not perfect, but. All right, well, there you go. So that's going to get a road into town, and then we'll have houses surrounding these buildings. That's plenty for us to work on building, especially considering, you know, how limited supplies, like getting steel up here is painful. I may have to redivert, though I don't want to redivert from too many efforts down there. But we need the food. The food is killing us on the food prices. So, yeah, I really want to build some roads first. I think what I'll even do is let's come in here and demolish this and then put in a city street. No, not right there. Like right there. Yeah, and that'll be all one project. So the first thing we're going to do, let's see what construction equipment we have up here. Not much. I really don't have, I think I only have like one roller in the world. So let's come to our list of buildings, all map, roller. Yeah, we only have one roller and we only have one paver. Well, now that we have bitumen and the possibility of bitumen, I think I want to get, let's get that going. Like, so we'll get another roller and paver. And yeah, we probably want a road depot up this way so I can switch things in and out without having to drive them all the way back someplace else. So, and we're really going to want another construction thing probably over this way, because I can't build, or maybe even over here so that I can build Lumbriska and also maybe get these other fields done. I think if I was just, you know, to build one out here, that would get me far enough to get that done. All right, so now what that means, and I don't want to build any more on this road, but all right, doing too many things at once. So let's go to roller. Thank you. Paver. Thank you. So now the first thing we're going to do is get this asphalt plant going. That's fine. You know what? That's sort of fine. Yep, we got big, long projects. All right. So you guys, now you have how many dump trucks? You're going to need more dump trucks, right? Do we have dump trucks sitting around? I think we do, because I think I was using them to haul. No, cement trucks. Yeah, but you know what? You guys should get at least one cement truck, right? If not two. So this guy is the bigger one. All right, so that'll be 2 more spots filled up, and then let's go just look. The only other vehicle depot we have is down here, and there's nothing in it. Okay. So I want you to have at least another dump truck. And you're going to need an open haul. You're going to need buses. You're going to need a depot up here sooner rather than later. All right. Well, let's do the dump truck is, oops, click up here. Oh, we don't have much money. We're going to, oh, we can't buy stuff with Americans. Oh, look, an asphalt paver. I probably should have bought that, huh? Yeah, well, I need to get more rubles, don't I? So let's start time back up and hope we don't run out of them. By the way, the reason I got so low is I bought some equipment, and also, I'll take the wireframe off. Also, I had broken this power line, and when I was, you know, daydreaming and leveling, like I'd forgotten, and so like my rubles ran down. So for one thing, I was buying food with rubles, and then I didn't reconnect this power line. So I real quick just paid for it with dollars or whatever. And so yeah, this should go up overall because the reason it's so low is the power was cut off and I was daydreaming. Didn't even realize time was running. So there we go. I think that's quite a few projects for me. I've been going at it for quite a while, and I don't want to end the episode here because I feel like it'll be 2 episodes with a lot of talking and not getting too much done. So let me cut myself off here and get some work done, and then I don't know, when town is going or when I have more to say, that's, you know, we'll come back and we'll end the episode. All right. I'll talk to you guys in a second. Well, there's not that much exciting happening. I did want to mention something that I put it on my wish list. I wish there was something that could replace me doing this. Like if you notice, now I have 3 construction things going. And it was even true when I didn't have so many different construction options. But it would be nice to have a window that would, and I may have mentioned this in another episode, that would just show me like the jobs that each one has assigned. And, you know, like that way I could do this and just bounce. And it would even be nice to have like the eyeball on it, like just this. I don't need the purchase thing because like what I'll now do is like, oh, okay, let's say, well, neither one of these is done, but let's just say this one was getting close to being done. I can bounce over to here, you know, and chances are the construction that they're doing or the next project is, you know, is close by. So anyway, this is the Commune construction depot. And what I'm doing is building, I'm asphalting roads, and much as reason as anything else, if we bounce back up to here, and this is the Prishik, and I don't have much steel here, so I've taken all 3 of the steel trucks and said drop your steel off here. So we should get a buildup of steel going here fairly soon, which at this point I don't plan on too much construction, and we do have steel in the other places, at least enough to do some minor projects. But I'm going to need a bunch of it for doing all of this. And I wanted to mention, mistakes were made, but fortunately caught before too long. I built this road, and then I realized I couldn't connect the train depot. So I ended up moving the train depot back away a little bit, and I had to redo the wires. And then I forgot to do the money thing again. That's just because I'm an idiot sometimes. But as I did this, I also like accidentally said, "Oh, cancel the construction of the road." Like, and I deleted all my roads in town. But that's probably fine because I realized until I have people, it's going to be awful hard to run the asphalt plant up here. And I really don't feel like getting asphalt from all the way down there just to asphalt the roads, you know? So it's also been a bit painful. Like this, you could see, like just trying to get people. So I now have another bus is on the way. I like transferred a bus, but I went and bought a faster bus for one thing. So when I go to, this is where we'll build our houses. I laid these guys down. So we'll get 4 houses going up here eventually, but I need to get a store and all. I'm not going to worry about too much other entertainment for them. At least not immediately. Like, I almost don't care if they escape. I have 340 people that, you know, that just aren't doing anything, or they're 21 and living at home. So I can, even if we lose a few people because I stay unhappy, I'd rather have a couple people up here in a house or two. I need to get a bus stop, so I'll need to build this road out a little bit further so that we can then assign that bus stop to the construction so we don't have to drive, you know, 40 miles or kilometers to go get people. And that should speed up all the rest of this construction greatly. So maybe one of the first things we'll do is we'll, you know, get some footpaths in and get our pub hooked up. Eventually, once we get we'll get the stores going first, and then we'll get a couple people in, and then we can talk about, you know, I'll probably build another little road across here so that we can get to the, you know, it won't cost that much for a gravel road, and we'll get the asphalt plant going. One of the things I'm learning when it comes to building these gravel roads is building squares like this is the way to go. And let's see, are we all busy? Now, these guys aren't done, so this will be a good one to go take a look at. So because there's a big square here, you know, it's a big square that they're in. When I repave the road, they have options. So I'll come up. I've had the road thing open for the most part. And I'll pick my asphalt road, and I'll do the next little section, right? And then I'll assign it wherever the assign button is. I should know that by now. There we go. So now, because this is under construction, they couldn't go this way, but they have, even though it's painful in a way, they do have an alternative. So what I think I'm going to do, even though it's going to be a little bit, let's do it together now. Over here, see how I built this asphalt road? The reason I did that was, one, I think it'll make it quicker for paving this stuff, because they seem to like options, and it's better than them going like all the way the heck around. Like if they're trying to go from here, they end up like, they might go like all the way the heck around to get to here, you know? Like, so this should give them another option with less connections in it, so maybe they won't go so far. But the other thing is if I want to repave these roads, I need to make them into a square, right? So I'm not too worried about the time it takes to do the gravel. But what I thought of is even just taking a simple dirt road from here, you know, oops, I don't know if I wanted to do that. You know, and even if it's not the flat, it's so easy to level with this. It's a shame not to. No, you're not going to go green for me. Sometimes, this is weird, because a lot of times you can go like that and get it to go green. So if you can't go one way, go the other. So see, now I should be able to repave all of this, and they'll have some option, even though it might be a dumb option. Like if I'm repaving this section, these dump trucks are going to go down here all the way around, but at least they'll keep moving, right? I mean, it won't be the most efficient way of doing. Look, this guy's already using the stupid dirt road. Where are you going to? Quarryville bus platform, which is this. Oh, geez. See, so there's exactly what I'm talking about with like kind of stupidity. Because this road has less connections, he's not going to drive down through here to go to here. He's driving all the way around. So maybe we'll bust that road after we repave, you know. So yeah, your road nodes is definitely the key. It's not the distance. Though I wish they would I can understand why. I'm a programmer, so I can understand that calculating all the distances with math is a lot more intense for the computer when you, especially when you got like tons and tons of different, you know, we got a lot of different calculations going on here, especially as you get the game more and more involved. And if you can just count this as between here and here as 1, it's just a lot easier than trying to calculate this as 27 or whatever your units are, you know. And imagine that throughout this whole map. It would start bogging down the computer. So they do like a node to node kind of accounting there, so to speak. But that got paved quick, didn't it? Oh, we got all kinds of paving jobs need to be assigned. So let's get that guy going for Energisk. The other thing is, yeah, pay attention to which one you're clicking on, because it's easy to assign somebody to see. And then so I wish there was like a little menu where I could just assign. I don't need to change all this all the time, you know. I don't need to see the voltage, and heck, even if you could just shrink this window, you know, to be a quarter of the size would be fine. All right, so I'm safe to do. Yeah, I'll do this little piece right here just so it's, call it done. There we go. So see, now they'll be able to go around anyhow. But yeah, this bus guy is going way off path, isn't he? But anyway, I'm sure that's the reason for it. I mean, so it's, while for the game it's not, it's the kind of programming decision you have to make sometimes, even though it doesn't make sense necessarily to the people running the program, why you would do it that way. Because like when we think of, like, the human brain so powerful, it just, heck, I don't have to know the distance between here and here. I can just look and say, well, that's shorter, right? Like, I don't need to do the math. And a computer just, it's incapable of working like that. So the other thing to say, not a big thing, but when it comes to, it's not about computers, but when it comes to these people up here, I'm not assigning anything but these small roads, so that, because what happens is these big roads can be done by just the equipment, right? But if I assign the big road, they'll drive people up here. And once they do that, then, you know, it's sort of like, well, they're working on this, they'll drop people off here instead of on these little roads where I really want them to drop the people off. So speaking of that, what I think, because they're down to pretty much 1, I just want to assign the rest of these. So that way, while we're people moving, like, I don't care if they go get people and bring them up here, or if we're only working on the big roads. But these little roads don't take a piece of equipment. If you look, no mechanism there. Compared to if I click on this one, it uses a mechanism. So I'm trying to just keep it to where I work on the, you know, on the roads that don't need mechanisms in one shot. So I'm getting close. I will come back when I have a few people up here, and that will make, I might even, I don't know, we'll see how far I go without, you know, before the next episode. But I'll get more of this worked on as the priority. I need to get more steel up here before I go nuts. How much do we have? 152, so we got a fair amount. You know, definitely enough to build, let's see, we need, let's call that 30, 70, and I need to get this open too, so that's going to be like 100. Yeah, so when you add up the conveyors, we pretty much have enough steel to get working on this. Yep. Another thing is a little bit of a problem, just to keep in mind if you're doing it. I set these asphalt guys, or the bitumen delivery guys, to sit there. And the problem with that is when they sit there, they clog up the one space, right? It would be nice if there was at least 2 spaces on all of these kind of factories. Like there's 2 spaces on the cement one. If we spin it around, probably see it this way. See, so I can leave the cement truck that runs the cement to the concrete factory. If I said that wrong, I'm sorry. So when, you know, like there's 2 spaces on the concrete thing here, so you can leave the delivery, but you can't do that with the asphalt. So when I'm feeling flush with steel and whatnot, I'll probably, if I put this tank in, put bitumen here. So I'll probably tend to do that, and I'll put I left enough space here for one of these these guys. So we should be able to, yeah, so we can get that guy in with a little flattening, and then I'll be able to deliver bitumen right to this. Now another thing I'm going to do, and not at the same time, when both of these guys are free, yeah, let's do this. I want to do this real quick. Just because anal retentivism. Oh, jeez. It's going to be even harder than I thought. All right, well, we'll do both. All right, so I want to assign this to Energinisk so that they can pave that. All right, I can't do both at the same time, and it kind of cuts these guys off from working for a little while, but it will get that paved. You know, that'll take a little extra because these guys, and then I'll do the same thing here where I can pave these things while the, you know, and that, again, I'll just get everything nice and paved, because this I actually want to have as a paved road coming all the way around too. So that's what really made me think of it. So once I pave that little bit, these guys should be, there's not going to be too much interference anymore with the asphalt plant. So. All right, I think that's everything I wanted to say. I think I've, you know, the episode's long enough to be a full episode and then a little bit. So I will keep working on this, and yeah, here we go. So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and we will, one day, we're going to have a big old food thing going on here. So, but I think it's going to be a lot of work, especially once I get people up here, though. Then Lumbrisca becomes a lot more, you know, I could build another construction thing, have them get people from here. You know, we'll have much more food, which is really, truly, it's becoming a killer. Let's see, this year, no, not that. This year, imports, and yeah, here we go. 609,000. So it's good. I think we should probably, I should even take a look. Food. I think I might have to start buying food from, yeah, it probably would be worth it. But then keep in mind that look how much more I'm getting for, when it comes to selling dollars, I'm getting a lot more money. You got to keep this in mind, that it's not just a matter of how much you pay for something, it's about how easily you can get a dollar versus how easily you can get a ruble. So in other words, the ruble is worth a lot more because I sell it for less. I know that's backwards, but trust me when I say I can get a lot more dollars for each bit of power, meaning that all of these numbers need to be reduced by the amount that I'm exporting. Again, I know that's kind of weird thinking in some respects, but trust me when I say, you know, if you compare how many dollars I'm getting here, or rubles I'm getting here, I'm getting less rubles for this power than I'm getting for this power. I'm getting more dollars per unit of power. That means the dollar is worth less to me than a ruble is worth. All right, well, I don't know how to explain it too well. Take a look at an economics book about currency. How's that sound? Anyway, I hope you guys have a good day. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I will talk to you hopefully in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.